The Bitcoin outlook for the week of April the 14th, 2025. Today is Monday. We have a Fed meeting that's going to be occurring on Wednesday and 2 days from now, where Jerome Powell is going to cover things such as the outlook on the market with everything that's been going on as of recently, as well as the traditional finance market will be having a 4-day week this week as we have a holiday on Friday, which is going to be Good Friday. And with that being said, I do anticipate a bit of volatility probably as we head into that Wednesday time frame. Unlike the stock market, obviously, crypto is never going to sleep. But let's take a look at what Bitcoin may end up doing in the next coming days here. So we've been trading currently up at about $85,000 at the time of recording this. We've put in a consistent little amount of low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high so far. Personally, I think that this current high sitting at about $86,000 is truly key in the near term here, which is going to be our little line in the sand for this week specifically for any more sizable upside, probably towards that next target region up at $90,000, where we have a high time frame average of price as well as a volume level, both sitting right at that $90,000 region. I do want to also point out that we have a new untapped, marked with an asterisk here, weekly pivot, which is the average of price from last week, likely to be met this week. Not a guarantee by any means, but it is something to be aware of, and currently that is below us. Now, one thing that personally I look for almost every single week is when we start the week off and we're trading near the previous week's high, I look for what is known as an SFP, or a swing failure pattern. You could call it a sweep of the high, a liquidity grab, what have you. But essentially that is exactly what it is, right? We actually saw the same thing over here last week, where we took the previous week low right there, and then we had a really nice rally up to the upside here. So if we're going to see any type of a pullback at this point, I would imagine that it will be something along the lines of coming up, taking this high out, closing back below that 86,071, give or take, depending on what exchange. And then we'd look for a decent little pullback back to the downside. And I do think that the weekly pivot would be a big target area to look to. So in short, the next coming days here, the most key level is this current high sitting at $86,000. If we start to claim this region, closing 4-hour candles, I would say daily especially, I would imagine that we actually get the next jaunt up towards that $90,000 region. Otherwise, look for a sweep of that area for an ideal little confirmation that we'll probably see a little bit of a cool down back down towards about $81,000 for what seems like the millionth time in the last 2 months. And like I said, nothing would truly be broken at that point. You'd still have a sizable uptrend intact here, and potentially working on moving from that region up towards the 89,000 if we do get that pullback. Otherwise, we look to claim that region and we look higher to that 90K. Enjoy these updates. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that follow button. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, everybody, cheers.